Hello everyone, I'm PandaLemonTart, and today I am continuing my town building series by creating a new build in my new town called Lavender Lane. In this video, we'll be creating a Korean barbecue restaurant. And yes, that does include the table grills and the smoke extractors. Korean barbecue restaurants are so distinct because of these features, and I can't wait to bring them to Bloxburg. What are we waiting for? Let's get building! If you haven't seen my new town yet, it was featured in my opening of Mapletown video where I showed you the apartment I'm working on with my friends. That's a separate project that I'm going to reveal later on in this town building series. For now, I am deleting the space where we are adding the restaurant, and that includes deleting the fake lavender plants I added around the place. Crying while doing it though, because they did cost me nearly 2K each. After that's all cleared, I just went at it. I didn't have a specific vision in mind, but it usually comes to me later on, and I tell myself to trust the process. That technique usually works. This time it didn't, so I had to restart. With this one, I also kept building, hoping my idea will start forming itself soon. Again, it just didn't happen. So yes, I did have to restart for the third time. Don't worry, this is the final one. With this restaurant, I wanted spaces for indoor dining and outdoor dining, so I added an upper deck that could be accessed from the front. I also knew this business was destined to have lots of customers, so it would only make sense for it to have its own parking lot. I layered the roof to get that perfect shape and added shelves so we could add vines later on. I also decided on having a little outside bar where customers can just get free refills of whatever drinks we have to offer. Inside, I put the stairs in the corner, and I also walled off our bathrooms. I usually don't show it, but I dread the coloring process, especially when I have nothing to go by. This is a new town, and I was conflicted about following the colors of the apartment I created. Then that would mean that this build would also have to be linen and white, and I just wasn't feeling that today. I have been to a handful of Korean barbecue restaurants, and they've always had darker colors with a more modern design. So I tried to incorporate that, but at the same time, I didn't want it to be too dark. Finally, I was able to add these hanging vines, and they just look divine. I like to experiment with their width and height. Do you guys remember when we didn't have any sort of fairy lights before and everyone had to use these classic hanging lights? Well, I'm bringing them back in this build because I kind of feel sorry for them. I mean, imagine being everyone's favorites until you aren't. Speaking of the ever-evolving Bloxburg, I was keen on trying out these new industrial table sets they released in the recent update. They really fit in well with the aesthetic I was going for, and honestly, so proud of the bigger dev team for releasing this successful update. Everyone seems to really love it. I colored the chairs reddish brown, which is a color I usually stay away from, but I guess this build changed me for real. Before we continue this video, our sponsor for today is Peppy Play. They just came out with a new game called Peppy Hospital 2. In this game, you receive sick patients, and as a doctor, you do your best to cure them. This is my new patient. Before I can help, I want to take his photo for an ID. Now that that's done, I put him in a bed, then quickly realized that he is spreading his virus everywhere. So I grabbed a mask. That helped. Then I gave him medicine. I think he's all better. You can check if he is truly better by running a blood test. He is all good to go. But I should give him hand sanitizer before he leaves. Perfect. This game has so much to explore. We have access to a science lab, an emergency helicopter, and other healthcare facilities. Let your imagination run wild. You can download this game for free using the link in the description below or pinned comment. You can also download using this QR code. Now let's get back into the video. I find that when I add shutters, it makes the build seem so much more detailed. That's just a little tip for you guys. You can never really go wrong with shutters, unless you add them to doors. And for that, good luck getting out of your own build. Right now, I'm trying to finish up the exterior by adding some lush trees, brick pathways, and a car to really give the illusion that this is a thriving business. I also added a moped because this restaurant of ours also has deliveries to complete, so everyone in town has a quick access to our juicy Korean chicken. I got kind of lazy here, so I used the same texture and paint from the outside to paint our interior walls, also adding the wooden highlights that gives it a contemporary feel. The bar outside connects to the main counter on the inside, although I started worrying about where to put the kitchen, so it is also included in this staff central. This way, the staff can easily access the customers sitting inside and outside. Currently, most of our tables can accommodate 4 people. That's why I'm making longer tables so we are also able to accommodate bigger groups of customers. I also knew not to miss out on my chance of having diner seats. These are always almost present in K-barbecue restaurants. I kind of got carried away and ended up creating a mega table for really big groups. I thought the downstairs also deserved diner seating, so I took my obsession over there. For some, the best part about Korean barbecue restaurants is how you can cook your own food, while others aren't very fond of this system because you're hungry and you still have to cook your own food. Either way, it was hard looking for the perfect texture for this pretend table grill. Eventually, I settled for this texture. I don't think it's half bad. I do believe that we should at least be able to grill for real on certain tables, and these diner seats got the best deal. And of course, we just had to have vents running through the whole building to suck up all that smoke from barbecuing. I did try to run it through all the grills we have around the whole place and quickly shaped these smoke extractors using basic shapes, then put them all over the place. Walls are just so limiting sometimes, so I made this partition using basic shapes as well. I also had this idea to have the kitchen ceiling to be lower than the rest, so I did that by creating these squares separately and lifting them up one by one. I love the smoke extractor so much that I tried adding it to the outdoor tables. But who am I kidding? There's no need for smoke extractors outside since it's outside. So to my dismay, I had to delete my hard work. The black poles did give me an idea though. I thought they would be nice as just I don't even know what. Like, you can put something over them during the hot summer. Maybe a tarpaulin? Maybe grow vines on them? Maybe add fairy lights. I don't know. But it looks nice. For me, I went with the fairy lights. Ever since I found out we won't be able to have real grills to cook the barbecue, I knew I had to improvise, and that's making fake meats using basic shapes. I love setting the table displays for this build. I even chose golden bowls and plates. I made sure to even add chopsticks and chopstick rests. This restaurant also provides complimentary water. You're welcome. After that, I had to play a little bit of Tetris to fit the oven on top of the commercial fridge we spent so much money on, then filled that space up by using basic shapes. I'll be honest, I don't remember the days when basic shapes did not exist. Must have been a difficult time. You must be wondering what I'm trying to achieve right now, and that's making a partition with, you guessed it, basic shapes. But not just any basic shapes, a transparent basic shape. You know what this reminds me of? Half walls from The Sims. I'll be honest, I think Bloxburg has definitely surpassed Sims' build mode. In these Korean barbecue restaurants, we often find self-serving stations with either water or cutlery. It kind of makes it feel homey, which I love. I added that everywhere so there's one near every table around the place. I thought it was also important to add hand washing stations because some people just prefer to eat chicken with their bare hands, and that's perfectly fine. More enjoyable even. I kind of wish this kitchen was a little bit bigger so we can fit more stoves, but I think this will do for now. It does have every appliance it needs. While adding the lighting, I made sure the lights weren't too bright. But even then, I found myself deleting some lights in certain areas because I found that it's a lot more aesthetic when it is a little bit dark. I have been seeing this trend where builders put massive versions of whatever they're selling on the roof of their businesses, and it looks really nice. Like for example, if it's coffee they're selling, they're making a massive coffee model to put on top. I tried to do that here with meat and chopsticks, but it did not work out. I guess we'll have to go with the simple route this time. With the water closets, or the toilets as they are commonly known, I made 2 small rooms for the customer toilets and made a slightly bigger one for the employees. I added the finishing details, and just like that, we are finally done. Welcome to Lavender Lane's finest restaurant, Seoul Grill. Let me show you around. As you can see, I added decals that I made 3 a.m. in the morning, and now that I am fully awake, I'm starting to think that I'm not as fond of them as I was last night, because yeah, I'm just not feeling it. We'll see if I end up changing them, but for now, let's enjoy the tour. This was the bar area, and we also have a bunch of cutlery sets over there, And inside we have the menu. The menu is just filled with like barbecue stuff like pork chops, you know, meat mostly. These are the water closets, and I kind of matched the decals with the logo. This is the staff one, and I got to actually use the small makeups that the new update came out with, and I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, so I added a little puke here. You know, okay, not a little bit, a lot of puke. But moving on to the next water closet, this one's pretty clean, so you guys should probably use this one instead of the other one. I had a lot of fun with this layout. I like how we have stools in these counters as well, so there's more seating for everyone. And of course, let's not forget our hand washing station, because we will probably need it while eating that yummy chicken or barbecue. This is the main logo. Soul Grill. I'm sorry, I'm just so not original. I'll see if I can come up with a better one, but this is our kitchen, and I like how we have access to the outside and the inside customers. Now going upstairs, the upstairs area is actually so cute. Oh my goodness, I love how it's like just perfectly shaped. It's not too tight, it's not too spacious. You guys have probably already noticed that I put the fake meat in some tables and some of them don't have it, but that's totally okay. That's definitely just for decoration, honestly. I actually missed making restaurants or cafes because they're like probably the most common businesses here in Bloxburg. And yeah, I love how you can experiment with them. Korean barbecue restaurants, bars, there's just so many types. And here I'm just showing you the no parking zone where the trash can is. Yeah, that's all for this video, and I hope you liked it. So if you do, like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.